Hello and welcome back to the Mimic Commentary. We are on episode 28. The last two episodes we were exploring the Round Table Hold. And at the end of the last episode, I fell down there and died. And we'll figure out why I died in just a moment. Before we jump down there, we're going to look up here. See a larger painting of Ratigan with the Erd Tree in there. It's much easier to see the paintings up here. Godfrey and Sarash. Then just the Erd Tree and Landell. And this is what I was trying to say before about the Marika and Godfrey side by side. Like the paintings are supposed to be on the left-hand side. The Elden Lord's right-hand side. Marika. And we can kind of see what I was getting at, I think, in the last episode. Marika is firmly associated with the Erd Tree. On this side of the room, it's Marika and the Erd Tree. We even have our, I got our little Erd Tree chair, or well, maybe it's a great tree, because we can't tell with the coloring. Oh, this is actually interesting on the chairs. We see Spiral, and then what looks like a woman, covering her breasts. Spirals everywhere. These kind of look like lilies up here. These kind of look like lilies. Maybe they're Trina lilies, who knows? And we have, are those winged lions on the, or just lions? And then lions on there. So I'm going to say, with the lions on there, probably Golden Lineage era, lions, and then the tree, and then perhaps this representing Marika. If you're aware of my friend, Kate the Kind, she would say that this image right here, and we'll see this image in the future as well, she would say this woman right here is supposed to represent the myth of Melusine. But anyway, we have Marika and the Erd Tree, and then the two Elden Lords. Elden Lord Godfrey with Sarash, his golden is the beast, and then Ratigan doesn't have a beast, but he has the tree in the painting. And then before we go down here, we could see these are the same. Oh, can I light this up a bit? Hold on. It's going to be hard to say. These are the same banners in the Fringe Folk Heroes grave, and we found a lot of Banished Knight armor in here. So this castle, well, I don't know if it's a castle. This building, most likely is supposed to be representative of a Sunrealm era building, and then with newer statues added in. These are new. Look at them. They're not built into the walls. They look like they were placed here. So, new statues placing, like, tree sentinels. Not tree sentinels, but, like, tree knights. And then this man or monk. I don't know if we can gender them. With golden flowers, which makes me think of the Erd Tree. So, I fell down there. And when I fell down there, something happened. I got the reverential bow. So let's see why that was. And then we'll inspect this area. Mad Tongue Alberich. This is Doer's reverential bow. He's got like a wizard's hat, a weird staff. He has a blindfold. Oh, goodness. All right. He's casting ice magic. What else does he have? Okay, like a frost mist and then like glintstone ice. So when we're going to have to look for, when we find ice spells, we're going to have to think about Mad Tongue Alberich and who he might be. Oh, I have parry turned on. He also has a scythe. His staff is interesting. It looks like, so it's like a branch of some sort, and it doesn't have glintstone on it. It has like what looks like maybe an animal on it. Oh, that's causing bleed and frost. I don't know if I can parry that. Does darkness work on him? I don't know if darkness works on NPCs. It does not. Alright, he's gonna use ice, we'll use fire. Or we'll die. Alright, we're gonna beat him. We need to inspect down here. But yeah, we can see he's blindfolded. He's doing sight deprivation. So something, we don't really know much about sight deprivation yet. We've only seen it with the prophets, but we can tie in sight deprivation is linked to prophecy and seeing the future in some way because of the blindfolds. So this mad tongue has something to do with prophecy. Maybe not prophecy, but like heightening his intuition in some way. Okay, let's get the jump on him. Oh, I want to see that spell. Do that spell. Okay, he's doing damage to himself and thorns come out. And he has his own flask of Crimson Tears. Woo! Oh, geez. Okay. So we did you can see it looks like there's an animal on the end of his staff. All right, we got a lot to talk about that guy. So he cast ice magic. He had like a wizard's hat. He was blindfolded. He was called the Mad Tongue. And then he also did like a thorn magic that caused him to hurt himself. Are 2 instances of thorns so far from shields from the Weeping Peninsula. So since these come both from the Weeping Peninsula, that's very important. We have the Red Thorn Round Shield, which is an emblem. Its emblem is an ancient thorn design, though it isn't much. It boosts fire damage negation. So fire damage negation from this ancient thorn design, and that guy was casting ice magic, so that makes sense. Ice magic and thorns against fire, but it was causing him damage, and he was able to cast a spell because of it. Shields of the Guilty, shields made to venerate a maiden whose eyes were crushed by the briars of sin. So we see her eyes are crushed because of the briars of sin before being reborn in these lands. Venerating the repoised soul. This is also supposed to be a safe space for the Tarnished, but coming down here, we got invaded by a red phantom. So he was sending out his phantom to us in this place outside of the Lands Between, this Mad Tongue. And his eyes were covered, perhaps because they were crushed by the briars of sin. Venerating the repoise of the soul. Well, that also makes sense, venerating the repoise of the soul, because it's his spirit came out to fight us. But he gave us a reverential bow. He bowed to us in reverence. The item we got from him, the Taunter's Tongue, it looks like a golden tongue. The cloth wrapped around it is, if you're going to remove someone's tongue, it's so you can hold on to it with that cloth so it doesn't slip, pull it out, and then cut it. And it's dripping with like gold. So it looks like it was dipped in gold. If I was going to say, since this is a multiplayer item, I would say that it was dipped into Furl Calling Finger Remedy, which reveals cooperative multiplayer signs, and those are made with, can we make those yet? That's made with Erdleaf flower, so I guess grinding Erdleaf flower down into this remedy and then dipping a tongue in it gets the Taunter's Tongue. Lures in invaders. This allows your world to be invaded without any furled finger cooperators present, and it also shortens the interval between windows of opportunity invasion. So this gets phantoms to come after you. So we're going to have to keep an eye out for frost spells, think of him. We also want to find his body, since that was his spirit. We want to see where his body is. Just like when before we ventured to Caelid, we were invaded by this church, the Smoldering Church. Who else invaded us? Nereus invaded us. But we got his knife, so perhaps killing his spirit, we won't find his body. But we're going to keep looking for his body. We also were invaded by the recusant Hernicus, who might be working for Gideon. So we want to look for his body. And we were invaded by the Bell-bearing Hunter over here, so we want to look for his body. Down here, we have the Sarash Imagery. Now, it's difficult to say. We have this, fringe folk imagery, which shows, like a Birdman, maybe? Definitely the bird imagery, but with horns. I'm seeing a Birdman hybrid. And we know the primordial crucible, like the crucible knights, are able to turn into birds, so perhaps that's what's showing, like a man turning into a bird. We'll have to look for more bird imagery. But I'm seeing bird imagery. I'm going to call that the fringe folk imagery, like the fringe folk herald or whatever. Then we have the beast Sarash. Now, and then we have the Erd Tree Knights. The Tree Knights? We'll just call them Tree Knights. I don't want to call them Erd Tree Sentinels. Then the door, here we have, these are the same doors, I think, from the Chapel of Anticipation, at least bigger. We have tree imagery, same tree imagery we've seen in the Colosseum. Then what looks like the doorknobs, I don't know, a star, a sun, maybe nothing. And then we also have the, oh goodness, I'm going to run out of glowstones. I can't make any more. Last one. This is also from the Chapel of Anticipation. We see most likely Marika in the middle, and then a bunch of handmaidens. We know maidens are very important. We have the twin maiden husks and the finger maidens. So she's holding a bucket in some sort. I'm imagining the tears of dew, the tears of sap, the blessed boon, going into the basin here in this bucket. And then one of them has to be Marika. Maybe they're all Marika. But lots of women, and the blessed dew most likely in that. What else do we have? These have just kind of flower imagery. We can't really get much of that, but we could tell that these are newer. The doors could be new too. The doors are made out of wood, so those could be new as well. The banners, who knows when the banners are put up? But because of the amount of weaponry here, I'm leaning towards Sunrealm first, statue second. Like, these banners are high up, it might be difficult to take them down. And then we have, more of the, let's put this on. We have more of the Banished Knight armor with the dragon imagery. Their heraldry up here, the shield. And then we have the Sword Saint. So, and these are new as well. This, we found, these statues, these were the newest statues at the Chapel of Anticipation and on the Saints Bridge. And they have what looks like, this is the same sword that like a similar sword to the Leonine Misbegotten. So, we don't know who this is yet. The only person we've seen wearing a hood, we've seen Roderica, she wears a hood, and Melina, when she first introduces herself to us, she's wearing a hood. So, that's that. And then we have more of the family tree, this kind of like Erd Tree family tree. Since Marika's tied to the Erd Tree, I would imagine that this is supposed to be her family tree. These are the people who are saying this is our nobility to the tree. This is a common type of motif to make a family tree look like this, but, trees are incredibly important for Elden Ring, and family trees especially, since we will learn a lot about the kids of Queen Marika. What else do we have in here? Lots of weaponry. Yeah, this is all Banished Knight armor. So this, and the Banished Knight swords are shown as decoration. Similar castle style, Castle Morn, Fort Height, the watchtowers. These all have like what we are calling the Gold Road, thanks to Nameless Singer. I'm feeling comfortable saying this is a Sunrealm castle. A feasting hall. Portrait of Landel and the Erd Tree. And then, a bedroom. Marika being shown as the Erd Tree. We've seen that before. Anything on the fireplace? Nothing interesting. And then we have a corpse, a burned corpse, in this bed. Which is interesting that why is there a dead body burned at the Table of Lost Grace outside of the Lands Between? Is this the body of the Mad Tongue? Probably not. And what do we get from it? 30 faith to use these weapons. Whoa. This is the same script as the two finger spells. Okay. One of the weapons originating from the two fingers. A formless sequence of ciphers comprise its blade, and as such, no shield can repel it. Deals holy damage. The furtive inscription appears to hang in the air, the language of light, spoken by the two fingers. Unique skill is Unblockable Blade, so it's Ash of War, the memory of this weapon, is Unblockable Blade. Imbue the Cipher Blade with light, then lunge forward with a sudden piercing attack. This attack cannot be blocked. So let's look at the words that they really use in here. So a pada is just a type of weapon that's held on the hand. It's like, imagine like, it kind of looks like this. Imagine if the glove, the gauntlet, had a sword connected to it. That would be the pada. It's a cipher pada. A cipher is a secret or disguised way of writing. It's a code in some way, cryptic notes. In cryptography, which if you think of like, what was the machine in World War II that they had to crack? That was a cipher. It's slipping my mind right now. It's just a cryptographic code for cybersecurity. Those are ciphers as well. So this is a hidden... Oh, put that again. This is a hidden code. This is the language spoken by the two fingers. The word furtive inscription. Furtive is attempting to avoid notice or attention, typically because of guilt or belief that discovery would lead to trouble. It's secretive. So this is the secret cipher language. This is the secret language written in a cipher. People are not supposed to be able to read this. There is secret information in this. And it's spoken by the two fingers. It's a formless cipher. It's made out of light. You can imbue this with more light, but this is made out of light. And as we've seen before, the assassins of the two fingers. Can I do it? No, I can't really. The two fingers darkness spell. So they have the power of light and darkness. That's pretty... Those are like fundamental, light and darkness. That's like... It makes a nice wind chime sound. And this is how the two fingers speak. Whoa. The language of light spoken by the two fingers. Okay. So we have to keep our eyes out for languages of light, darkness. Yeah. And learn more about the two fingers, this religion based around the two fingers. So the two fingers speak this language. We don't know what they are yet. We know in the imagery, thanks to our finger seal, it's literally like, look at this. The finger seal shows what looks like two fingers, knuckles and nail. But who knows? All right, we're going to talk to Vare. Then, after we talk to Vare, this is going to be a short episode. We're just going to talk to Vare. And then the next episode will be Stormvale Castle. So consider it like a double feature. But before we do, does anyone have anything interesting to say?
Long enough. I have matters to attend to.
Guess not. Okay. So let's talk to Vare, since we made it to the round table hold.
Oh, well done. Well done indeed. You made it through that entire mess all the way to Stormvale. And off you trotted to the Round Table Hold. My sincerest congratulations. But how did you find the Round Table? Oh, you don't have to say it. Before, the Round Table was chock full of venerated warriors. But now, it's home to puff chests and has-beens. I fear you've been terribly disappointed. I don't blame you. But still, the Round Table has its perks. Why not earn a seat? Fly straight and true, so to speak.
Okay. He congratulates us. We made it all the way to Stormvale. And then we're off to the Round Table Hold. So, how does he know we got there? That's interesting. I don't know how he knows we got there. Does he know about Melina? Before, the Round Table Hold was chock full of venerated warriors, but now it's home to puff chests and has-beens. I kind of got that picture from all the people that we met. We have the royalty that is Dialos and his servant who keeps running away from him. We have the blind prophet, Corin, who just wants to serve whoever has guidance. Then we have Gideon, the all-knowing, who's kind of a jerk and maybe sending out assassins to kill us. And then we had D. D seems like the only true knight at the Round Table Hold. And then we have Hugh, smithing master. We had the skeleton guy, don't know anything about him. And then we had Fia, she's up to her own thing. But yeah, I kind of get that. Puff Chefs, has-beens, chock full of venerated warriors. So we might have been hearing that when we stood next to Grace. We might have been hearing, like, the echoes of venerated warriors. When we speak to Melina, she can hear the echoes of America at Grace. At Sights of Grace, she can hear the echoes of America. So perhaps at the Table of Lost Grace, we're hearing the echoes of venerated warriors. If we're hearing their echoes, what does that mean for the Table of Lost Grace? What is the nature of this place that's outside the Lands Between? Is it possible that the Table of Lost Grace is an echo of something that used to exist and doesn't exist anymore, and Grace is manifesting it for people who can see guidance, and that's why you need Grace to be able to get there? Like, the only way to get there is with Grace? So we'll have to find out. Maybe we'll find the real Round Table Hold. We've been terribly disappointed. I don't blame you, but still the Round Table has its perks. Why not earn a seat? Fly straight and true, so to speak. So when he says fly straight and true, I think that's kind of like Bernal saying, like, you're a good, proper tarnished, right? You're trying to put the Golden Order back together, even though it's collapsed. And, we're going to say first, I'm going to say, I don't need a seat. Let's see what he says. Disappointed.
Yes, I see. Perhaps it's just as well. Besides, you are maidenless. One can only do so much with the materials provided. But then again, if you should realize the error of your ways, I'm always willing to hear you out.
Okay, we'll talk to him again. He doesn't know about Melina. He still thinks we're maidenless. Melina plays the role of maiden. So I wonder how are Tarnished supposed to get to the Round Table Hold if it's not with a maiden? Or does he know that Melina is not a maiden? Does he know about Melina? I don't think he does, because he still says we're maidenless. He also knows that we don't have a maiden, and the maiden at the Church of Chashbolt in Space was dead in a pool of blood, and this guy, well, would you look at that, he is covered in blood. It feels like he killed our maiden, tells us to go on this journey, follow Grace, go to the Round Table Hold, earn a seat, and then he'll be like, well, now that you have a seat, can you do me a favor?
Oh. Have you decided to have a go after all? At joining the Round Table proper? Ah, then you're interested. A wise choice indeed.
Thank you.
To join the Round Table proper, you must acquire a great rune and request audience with the Two Fingers.
Oh, we'll finally get to meet the Two Fingers. How exciting.
They are the purported masters of the grace that guides your kind, the Tarnished. Yes. Pay them a visit, so that you may see for yourself.
Okay, so he's not Tarnished. So I could see why he... Does he have... His eyes are maybe kind of Gracie? Maybe a little yellow in there? So, to join the Round Table proper, you must acquire a Great Rune and request audience. Okay? So, Gideon is a member of the Round Table Hold, and he seems like the only true member of the Round Table Hold. He must have a Great Rune. We have to defeat Godric the Grafted at Stormvale Castle to get a Great Rune. And he's a demigod. So we have to be on the lookout. How did Gideon get a Great Rune? How did Gideon get a Great Rune? Well, he is assassinating Tarnished, it seems like, so maybe he took one from another Tarnished? I don't know, with that Hernicus. I don't really trust Gideon. They have the same sigil on their banner, and Gideon is... Oh, I shouldn't have swore. We're going to bleep that out. Gideon is kind of a jerk. And then we'll meet the Two Fingers. The Two Fingers speak in a language of light, so we're going to learn some of their secrets. We'll finally learn who the Two Fingers are. Why do they speak with a formless cipher? And their words hang in the air. So are we going to learn this light language? Well, this is the Finger Reader. So perhaps one of these eyeless crones will give us, we can translate the cipher with her. That's also interesting that that's a finger reader, and the two fingers make a formless cipher. The sight deprivation probably is how maybe they're able to read this light. You know, in the darkness, this light shines brighter. What else do we have? They are the purported masters of grace that guides your kind, the Tarnished. So he's not a Tarnished. But that's interesting because Melina says that if the rays of grace signal a castle, then the Elden Ring beckons you. And the grace comes from the Erd Tree. The tiny golden aura is the grace of the Erd Tree. And Melina says that a Tarnished becoming Elden Lord would violate the Golden Order. So it seems like, you know, Melina, is she lying to us? I don't think so. I trust Melina. She gave us Torrent. Torrent trusts us. She doesn't know her purpose. She says she has to get to the Erd Tree. She gives us power. She gives us a lot of power. So I trust Melina. I think, and she has the Echoes of America. She's able to give us the words of America herself, the missing Eternal Queen. So I think this guy's wrong. And when we meet those two fingers, I'm not going to believe them either. They're very secretive. So let's see if he has anything else to say.
Challenge Godric the Grafted, Lord of Stormvale, to acquire a great rune. Decrepit he may be, but a demigod he remains. And of course, an inheritor of a great rune. Worse yet, I hear old Godric's acquired a ferocious new toy to graft. So, prepare for the worst.
Okay. Challenge Godric the Grafted, Lord of Stormvale. We already knew that. Acquire a great rune. We knew he had a great rune. Decrepit he may be. You know, he's old and decrepit. He also got his butt kicked by two other demigods. A demigod he remains, and of course, an inheritor of a great rune. So he inherited the great rune because he is a demigod, if we remember from the trailer, the intro trailer, I think it was. Or was the intro slides? Yeah, all, what was it? Everyone who has a great rune is a demigod, but not all demigods have great runes? Is that what was? They also are shard bearers, and the only shards we know of right now are the rune arcs. Shard of the Shard in Elden Ring that grants the blessing of an equipped great rune. So what I'm saying is that Godric is a demigod. Because he is a demigod, he inherited a great rune from the Elden Ring. Then the Elden Ring is shattered, and the rune arcs go around. Getting the great rune and using it allowed for the blessings to pool and activate the great rune. That's the Mad Taint. So it's going to be interesting when we see his great rune, what we learn about him. But he has a new toy to graft, so he's not just grafting. He's not just grafting Tarnished to himself. He's got something else he's grafting to him. Well, you can see the Golden Lineage banner, or the Sarash banners. Yeah, Golden Lineage, Sarash banners, all the way from here. So we have to prepare for the worst.
What's the matter? Aren't you supposed to be earning your place at the Round Table Hold? Then you must face Godric the Grafted, Lord of Stormvale. For without a great rune, you will not be granted audience. With the two fingers in the inner chamber.
Okay. Next episode, Stormvale Castle. Let's do the thing.